Alright, so I'm going to do a short tutorial on how to sample with the Korg ES-1. I'm going to be using the Korg Volca beats as the audio source for now. I've got it hooked up with its headphone output directly into the audio in of the ES-1. I've selected sample mode here, and I've got the audio in through on so I can audition the sounds. There's a red peak light here that you want to make sure it's not clipping, so for the kick, I'm going to lower it a bit. That sounds fine. You can now tweak the sounds if you want to. Let's get a pretty standard kick going. And sampling is easy. Basically hold pattern, set, record. Now it's in armed mode. When I hit play now, it'll sample until I hit play or stop again. So I'm going to sample the kick now. So there's an obvious delay between when I hit the key and the sound starts. So I'm going to scroll down to the second option, which is start, which is the start point of the sample. And I'm just going to tweak the start point till it sounds right. By default, the jog wheel will increment the start point at the smallest increments. If you hold shift, it goes a bit faster. Basically shift shows you the top three most significant digits, and without shift it gives you the last three. So you can keep auditioning the sounds. I'm gonna hold shift and move this up basically until I hear it click. So you hear at 15 there's this click there that I don't want. So 14 is fine, and now I'm gonna go not hold shift and fine tune it. And again until I hear the click, so click there. So there's no click now. And we can modify the end time as well. It sounds fine now, but just to conserve memory, I'm going to try to bring it down as low as it will go. So there you hear it starts clipping. Basically, it only gives you a number, so you use your ears for the most part. If it sounds fine, then it's good enough. So I'm going to hold shift and hit truncate, which will cut the sample at the start and end points that I determine, basically to save memory. And now I'm going to normalize, which will bring the levels up as high as they can go. And this is the final sample, so I'm going to save it and hit right. I'm going to save it in slot 60. Hit right again. It's saving. And that's it. I've got my kick. So now to continue, I can do the snare. I can higher the volume because the snare is a little bit lower than the kick. That sounds fine. I'm going to arm record, play, stop. And same thing, modify the start point. Whoops, went too far. So that's fine. Go slightly more fine-tuned. Doesn't have to be perfect. And the end point. That's fine, so I'm going to truncate again and normalize. That's the snare. I'm going to save it into 61. Alright, moving on. Low tom. That sounds good. Alright, again, start point. Oops, too far. clicking, nope. Go back, no clicking. Endpoint. See there how it cuts, you can hear it cut. Alright, good enough. Truncate, normalize, save into 63. I may have actually skipped 61. Yeah, I skipped 62, so let me write this into 62. I think it auto increments the number for you as you keep sampling. Let's do high tom. Arm record. Alright, sample start. You can hear the click. Endpoint. Alright, good enough. Truncate, normalize, save it into 63. Alright. I'm not going to do it all because it's going to get boring, but let me just do a hi-hat. That should be good. So arm record. Truncate, normalize, save into 64, and maybe let's do claps. Right, that's good. Alright, again, start point. Endpoint. Good enough. Truncate, normalize, right into 65, and maybe let's do this. Alright, last one. Again, start point. Some of them you would hear a click as you're moving the start point, others you just hear it kind of the sample getting cut off and faded, like this one. So 10 seems right, and then you go into the fine tune. Alright, good enough. And then alright, again, truncate, normalize. Whoa. That's what happens when you normalize, it gets pretty loud. Alright, save into 66. So I've sampled, I think, 6 sounds so far, which should be good enough. So now we can go into pattern mode. I've got an empty pattern here with nothing playing, and here are your sounds. So these are some sounds from before, but I'm gonna select, if I scroll down to sample, I've loaded all the Volca ones in the 60s, so 60, 61, 62. So I'm going to put 60 here, 61 here, 62 here, 63, 64, 65, and finally 66. Actually, let me move 66 here, because these two are pairs that will shut each other off. All right. So I can put my hi-hat in. Let's lower the tempo a little bit. Put some accents. And now you can tweak the pitch and all the other parameters work. Put some swing. Also helps to put some, run the kick through a compressor. And that's it. That's how you do a basic sample of the drum machine. Thanks for watching.